The paladin wistfully hums a tune. You recognize the air. Smoke gets in your head.
Littered with corpses. Never thought I'd see the day.
Bastard burn well. I'll say that.
As he hums, the words come back to you. There's no smoke without fire, dark the air. Nothing burns in rainfall, and smoke gets in your hair. He rolls his eyes and turns back to the flames.
That was Rosewood's favorite song, and Rosewood's dead. You didn't know Rosewood. Leave his favorite song alone. Rosewood's dead, and these are the monsters that did it. Don't be sorry on my behalf. Be sorry for Rosewood and his wife. He was a good man, and she'll feel his loss. It'll haunt her for the rest of her days. We'll mourn him as we mourn all our own.
The bastard burn well. I'll say that for him.
Streets littered with corpses. Never thought I'd see the day.
Better days out in this city.
The spirit burns with rage at the carnage wrought on Arx. Rage for the Voidwoken, rage for the Magisters, and rage too for himself and his fellow paladins for failing to see the danger until it was too late.
The bastard
The pale
Streets
young man gazes at the square, seemingly lost in his thoughts.
see the day.
His face and clothes are daubed in what appears to be red paint. Nearby, a canvas sits upon an easel.
I didn't just see it, I witnessed it. Now I must preserve it upon canvas for the generations to come.
He nods, a faraway expression on his face.
The great schism of the Divine Order and the ruination of Arx. This will be my masterpiece. I usually only display completed works, but, well, this painting's raw power is already plain to see. Here, feast your eyes.
He gestures to the canvas. It's completely covered in the same shade of red, layer after layer. It's sodden, dripping onto the cobbles. He cracks a limp smile. He seems to be getting paler by the minute.
True art requires sacrifice. Artists must put themselves onto the canvas.
He tugs back the sleeve of his tunic to reveal a blood-soaked cloth bandage around his wrist.
It was my father's technique. He was the finest painter of his generation, and he used his own blood for his masterwork. The final panel of The Sacrifice of Lucian. He was also quite the sorcerer. Magic-infused blood can be used to produce the most vivid effects, if you're skilled enough. For the most part, a copy can be seen at the Great Cathedral here in Arx. I visit frequently for inspiration. But the original panel, The one that my father used his blood to depict Lucian's final sacrifice was given to Lord Kem a long time ago. He keeps it locked away somewhere in that mansion of his. A masterpiece like that should be on public display for all to see. Self-preservation is a petty concern. I must put the spiritual above the corporeal. I must finish.
Streets.
The spirit of an older man observes the nearby painter. He tut-tuts to himself.
That poor boy is wasting his time, walking upon well-trodden paths. I thought I raised him better than that. Did you tell him what you thought of his little picture? Unfortunate, isn't it? He isn't without talent, but he never overcame the fact that he was my son. Of course, my finest work. I drew upon everything I had for that piece, all of my skills, my experience. Why, there's even my own blood and sauce on that canvas. They are part of a private collection now, Lord Kem's. Perhaps he'll grant you a viewing, but I doubt it. There's a reproduction on display at the cathedral. Not the same as viewing the original, of course, but it gives the great unwashed something to pray before. Of course I am. I painted the greatest works of art that Arx has ever seen. The Sacrifice of Lucian. My opinion is the only one that matters.
The man stares unblinkingly at his canvas, lost deep in his thoughts.
For the most part, but the original, he keeps it locked away. Self-pres...
Out of my way.
Where the smells? Oh, Mr. Smells!
Those paladins will ruin Arx, mark my words. Nothing but a bunch of damn nobles playing soldier. I blame Alexander for this. I heard old Alex died trying to summon a Voidwalker.
I've had better days out in this city. Too loud. What do you think the paladins would do to us if the urge had gone wrong like that? Arx was still a free city last time I checked.
Hear ye, hear ye! I'm a lover. Suspect in Alexander murder found dead in Driftwood. Hear ye, hear ye! Magister's routed. Lord Kem's paladins back in charge. Hear ye, hear ye! Voidwoken attacks increase. Citizens warned to be alert. Hear ye, hear ye! Kraken sighted at sea. Several ships missing. Hear ye, hear ye! Magisters colluded with Black Ring. Paladins clean house. Hear ye, hear ye! Queen Justinia confronts rebel factions. Dwarven royal stands tall. People respond! Now hurry! Hear ye, hear ye! Stranger threatens kid, town crier unhappy!
She sticks her tongue out at you, then gets back to work.
Hear ye, hear ye! Trouble brewing in the ancient empire! Dallas strengthens border defences! Hear ye, hear ye! Lucian's day arrives! Hopeful pilgrims take the path of blood! Not if you're without sin, it isn't. Hear ye, hear ye! Dwarven wedding interrupted by Voidwoken! Brave dwarves, party on! Hear ye, hear ye! Cranley Hubert publishes latest edition! New book already out of date! Hear ye, hear ye! That's all the news that's fit to shout! Hear ye, hear ye! Suspect in Alexander murder found dead! Hear ye! Majesty! Hear ye! Hear Queen!
What do you think the paladins would do to us if they heard you going wrong like that?
Cranley
Get
Hubert
out of here, you
publishes
dirty
latest
mutt.
edition!
Back in business. Thank the gods for Lord Cam, eh? He sorted out them void woken. Now, what'll it be?
Don't have much time for standing around. Get by and get moving.
Hear ye, hear ye! What a pile of junk! You're confident, I'll give you that. Magister's rooted! Lord Kem's paladins back in charge! Dwarven wedding interrupted by...
Business must be booming for you, all them broken weapons.
Dead magisters don't tend to buy weapons.
Still, the paladins.
Paladins don't need them either. They took the weapons off the dead magisters.
Voidwoken attacks increase! Citizens warned to be alert!
Some are still good. What you looking for? I'm not picky, so long as the arrow flies straight.
Trouble brewing in the ancient empire! Dallas strengthens border defences!
Hunters, I've got the wares we need. What a pile of junk.
They got damage.
You're confident. I'll give you that.
What's going on? I smell terrible things, I do. I smell fear and blood and doom and death and something else. Something worse. It's coming from under the city.
Paladins promise that the council school will reopen soon! People respond, now hurry!
You, eyes over here, yeah? I know she's pretty, but me wife's here to work, not to gawk at. Now that you're all done, why don't you just skedaddle on out of here?
Queen Justinia confronts rebel factions! Dwarven royal stands tall!
I'm just the one that hammers and such. You want the wares? You speak to my wife Fionola over there.
Latest edition!
It'll fix up.
New book already out of date!
You're confident.
I'll
I'll give you that.
Free, not anymore.
This market is usually twice as busy. People must still be scared to come out.
Hear ye!
The elf stands in front of a cart, displaying various sundries. He warmly motions to you and gives you a broad smile.
Don't fret, my friend, and don't falter. You needn't call to Lucian for succor, for I am here to answer your purchasing prayers on this day of celebration. May the gods watch over you.
Cranley Hubert publishes latest edition! New book already out of date!
I heard that the paladins killed unarmed magisters. Didn't even let them surrender.
think the paladins would do to us if they heard you going on like that?
Last time I checked.
There's bodies in the streets. This place isn't free, not anymore.
Was cheer the bride for the size of her nose.
A well-dressed dwarf woman lies on the cobbles, giggling drunkenly to herself.
I wish I was bloody homeless. Then I'd be home already. No, I was at a wedding. Beggars kicked me out. Said I was causing a scene. The usual fuss. The groom's a local alchemist, marrying the daughter of some big-shot merchant. Invitation only, I'm afraid. They'd hardly kick out their own flesh and blood, would they? I barely know any of them. Friends of business acquaintances. Eh? No. Why would I do that? Fine, fine. Take the bloody thing. Now, off with you. I can feel a void walking of a headache coming along. All I did was cheer the bride for the size of her.
Please, you've got to help me. My wife, they want to kill her. She didn't do anything wrong. She was just trying to save lives, but no one will listen. You have to help. Please.
So too shall my blade.
Of being a good person. Please, there's no time. They'll kill her. Help! Someone, please!
You approach, but the paladin's icy blue eyes never move from his prisoner.
You are interrupting a paladin court, stranger.
You can call this a court until the end of days, Kem. It's still a disgrace.
Please, you have to stop this madness.
The prisoner will be silent. We are beyond accusations. This once paladin is guilty of refusing orders and protecting supporters of the Black Ring.
They were boys. Local boys that signed up for steady pay in a slick uniform. A couple of white traitors doesn't mean every Magister is in league with the Ring.
At best, you are a coward. At worst, you are a traitor. In either case, the sentence is death.
His icy eyes focus on you for the first time, pinning you with a freezing look.
Step aside, stranger. I see. You have my thanks for that. You did us a great service. Now, if you would do me one service more, stand aside.
Oh, Divine Lucian, please help us.
A seeker? How do you... This is... unforeseen. Very well. Perhaps we would be wiser to wait. She shall not die today.
The paladin looks at you as Kem turns away and silently mouths thank you.
Find a cell for her. And the rest of you have your duties. Move!
I still can't believe the Magisters worked together with the Black Ring.
She sighs and gets back to work, combing through the rubble for evidence.
Not yet. If Lord Kem says to search, I'm going to search.
Didn't even let us surrender.
Oh, by the Divine, thank you. I'll never forget this kindness.
Arks is still a free city, last time I checked.
damn you! Stop bleeding!
The paladin presses a wad of fresh bandages upon a steadily bleeding leg wound. For a moment, it seems to work, but then the bleeding suddenly gets worse.
Damn it!
The paladin grits her teeth and readjusts her grip on the wound.
I'll be amiss from this world soon if this bleeding wasn't slow. One of the Magisters didn't know when he was beaten. Drove a spear into my knee. He should have aimed higher, though. I didn't give him a chance to land a second blow. My thanks. This is just what I need.
The potion takes effect, but then your ear catches the faintest sound of angry whispers, and the bleeding suddenly intensifies. The paladin claps her hand over the wound in an effort to stem the flow of blood.
What's going on? It looks like it's nearly stopped. Then it just starts again. The bleeding stopped. Thank you. Wait. No. It's starting again.
The paladin is still trying to stem the flow of blood.
I tried one of your potions already, remember? It didn't help.
There's an air about this place. Something sinister just below the surface.
The paladin is still trying to stem the flow of blood.
Come on, damn you. Stop.
The paladin...
Damn it! One of the Magisters... I tried both.
A lot of blood spilled. Not much to show for it so far. Lord Kem's in no mood for suffering fools. We had better find some sign of the Whites soon. Nothing! And Kem is getting restless. We've got to make something happen. And soon.
The Magisters fought with all the skill you would expect of peasants. Not that we were flawless. Of course, a victory is a victory, even if it comes at a cost. A few, but you could taste the Magisters' desperation. They even torched their own barracks to slow us down with the smoke. A lot of good that did, eh?
Order of society, the Magisters say. Not much bloody order in this place.
The spirit of a half-dressed Magister stands before you, fumbling to draw his phantom blade from its sheath. The spirit manages to draw his sword and utter a challenge, though not one aimed at you.
Alarm! Sound the alarm! There's paladins attacking! Where are the Whites?
He starts to swipe and jab his sword at an unseen opponent. The spirit of a magister lingers nearby, scowling at the damage that's been dealt to the premises.
Look at this! Just look at this! Our barracks ransacked by our own brothers in arms, and my sworn magister comrades murdered by them! I got Brent out of here. He was wounded. He wouldn't have stood a chance if I hadn't helped. Hopefully some more made it as well. I came back to see if I could help any others, but I got a saber through the heart instead. Murdering blue bloods. The Void's welcome to the lot of them. Who knows? Fled, probably. One of them ordered that we fight to the last man and set this place alight, rather than let the paladins take it.
The spirit glances around again.
So much for that.
The spirit leans back to appraise you, a guarded look on his spectral features.
You're no paladin, but why should I tell you? Fine. Just check in on him for me, will you? There's a spot around the back, at the bottom of an embankment, where a culvert drains into the river. I lowered him down there, where the paladins likely wouldn't see him. He was bleeding like a stuck pig, though. I don't know if he made it.
I've spotted something. This fire was set on purpose.
The plaque reads, 2, Order of Society. The plaque reads, 4, Loyalty to the Divine. Engraved on the plaque are the words, Discipline of Body. The plaque reads, Purity of Mind.
Careful. Traps. The Magisters didn't want anyone poking around in here.
Fools! They aren't even looking in the right spot. They'll never find what they want. What's this then? The Paladins resorting to bringing in outsiders to try and decipher my work.
He sneers at you. His spectral form bears impressions of severe burn injuries.
No matter. You'll fail just like them. I was the High Cryptographer of the Magister Order, until the Paladins killed me. Coded letters, passwords, security measures, all my creation. Now that I'm dead, you'll never decipher any of it. My work will outlive you all.
The spirit's smug demeanor gives way to an angry scowl.
Desperate measures made necessary by the treacherous actions of our so-called allies. My encryption guards the most important secrets. My task was to protect secrets, not to interpret them. But let me say this. The notion that we would have anything to do with the Black Ring is absurd. Patently absurd. My very life's work was to hide key intelligence from the light of both sun and source. What I know and what I have seen shall remain in shadow.
What's this? I found something.
A combination lock is embedded into the face of the hatch with 4 numbered dials. The hatch is firmly locked. A sequence of numbers has been engraved on the face of the mechanism. 1324. Below this are 4 dials. Each of the 4 dials bears 4 phrases that can be rotated into place. The first dial must be set. The mechanism clicks. The second dial has the same 4 phrases to select from. The third dial bears the same options as before. One last dial remains, with the same phrases as all the others. The final dial clicks. Silence. The hatch doesn't budge. The hatch is firmly a sequence of each of the 4. The first dial must be set. The plaque reads, "Purity of mind." Engraved on the plaque are the words, "Discipline of body." The plaque reads, "2, Order of..." The plaque reads, "4, Loyalty to the Divine..."
Must have surely taken it.
Nothing. Just more Magister rubbish.
Dallas, you snake. Where are you hiding?
Just more Magister rubbish.
It was you who sent us the War Owl. Without you, the Black Ring-loving Magisters would still be in charge. I suppose you have earned the right to involve yourself in Paladin business. Just this once. All this is thanks to you, you know. If we hadn't found out what the Whites were doing in the Black Pits, we wouldn't have known that they had to be stopped. I am in your debt. The Lord Dread lies in the harbor, but the hammer isn't aboard. Nor is she among the piles of Magister bodies. Should you hear anything, you are of course welcome to bring it to me. But rest assured, your help is not needed. My paladins will find her, and she will face divine justice. Very well. We know that Dallas and the Whites conducted their heresy from these barracks. If they were all working for the Black Ring, and I believe they were, there must be some sign of it in this building, perhaps even a safe house. We don't have much yet, but we will tear down every brick until we find their wretched hiding hole, and then we'll haul Dallas into the light. Not much, at least not yet. Perhaps you'd have better luck given your credentials. The White Magisters were in these barracks when the fighting began, an entire